The Crusades. The truth they never told you. Were the Crusades justified? Introduction. What if one of the most controversial events in history has been misunderstood for centuries? Today, many people believe the Crusades were nothing more than brutal Christian invasions of a peaceful Muslim world. Movies, documentaries, and popular media often portray Christian knights as ruthless conquerors driven by greed and religious hatred. But is that really what happened? What if the Crusades were actually a response, not the beginning of the conflict? To understand the truth, we must go back more than 1,000 years, long before the First Crusade was ever declared. This is the forgotten history of the Crusades. Chapter 1. Before the Crusades. The story doesn't begin in 1095. It begins in the 7th century. After the death of the Prophet Muhammad in 632 AD, Muslim armies expanded at an astonishing pace. Within just 1 century, they conquered vast territories including Syria, Palestine, Egypt, North Africa, Persia, and much of the Byzantine Empire. Many of these lands had been Christian for hundreds of years. Jerusalem, one of Christianity's holiest cities, came under Muslim rule in 638 AD. Over the following centuries, Muslim armies continued expanding into Europe. Spain was conquered in 711. Southern Italy and Sicily were repeatedly attacked. Raids reached France, and in 732, Muslim forces were finally stopped at the Battle of Tours. For nearly 450 years before the First Crusade, Christian kingdoms had largely been on the defensive. Chapter 2. The Byzantine Empire's Crisis. By the 11th century, the Byzantine Empire faced a serious threat. In 1071, the Byzantine army suffered a devastating defeat at the Battle of Manzikert against the Seljuk Turks. Much of Asia Minor, modern-day Turkey, was lost. The emperor, Alexios I Komnenos, desperately needed help. He appealed to Western Europe for military assistance. His request would change history forever. Chapter 3. Pope Urban II's Call. In November 1095, Pope Urban II addressed thousands gathered at the Council of Clermont in France. He urged Christian knights to aid the Byzantine Empire and help secure access to Jerusalem for Christian pilgrims. According to historical accounts, the crowd responded with the cry, Deus vult, God wills it. Thousands took the cross, beginning what became known as the First Crusade. Chapter 4. The First Crusade. The Crusaders marched across Europe into the Middle East. Their journey was long, dangerous, and deadly. Many died from hunger, disease, and harsh conditions before ever reaching battle. After several difficult campaigns, the Crusaders captured Jerusalem in 1099. The capture of the city was accompanied by a terrible massacre. Modern historians generally agree that many Muslim and Jewish inhabitants were killed. Even by the standards of medieval warfare, the violence remains one of the darkest episodes of the Crusades. Chapter 5. Why did people join? Many assume the Crusaders fought only for wealth. The historical evidence is more complicated. Most knights paid enormous sums to finance their journey. Many mortgaged or sold land. Some never returned home. While some individuals certainly sought power or riches, many sincerely believed they were performing a religious duty, defending fellow Christians, or seeking spiritual forgiveness. Their motivations varied widely. Chapter 6. The Crusader States. Following the First Crusade, several Crusader kingdoms were established. These included the Kingdom of Jerusalem, the County of Edessa, the Principality of Antioch, and the County of Tripoli. For nearly 2 centuries, these states existed amid constant warfare. Neither Christians nor Muslim rulers maintained lasting peace. The region remained politically unstable. Chapter 7. Saladin and the Third Crusade. In 1187, the Muslim leader Saladin defeated the Crusader army at the Battle of Hattin. Soon afterward, Jerusalem returned to Muslim control. Europe responded with the Third Crusade. Kings including Richard the Lionheart traveled east. Although Richard won several battles, he never retook Jerusalem. Instead, he negotiated an agreement allowing Christian pilgrims to visit the city peacefully. Chapter 8. The Fourth Crusade. Not all crusades followed their original purpose. The Fourth Crusade became one of history's greatest disasters. Instead of fighting in the Holy Land, Crusaders attacked Constantinople in 1204. The Christian city was looted and devastated. This deepened the division between Eastern and Western Christianity for centuries. Chapter 9. Were the Crusades defensive? Many historians argue that the Crusades were partly a response to centuries of Muslim expansion into formerly Christian territories and to the Byzantine Empire's request for aid. Others argue that they also became wars of conquest, political ambition, and religious zeal. Both perspectives are supported by historical evidence. The Crusades cannot be reduced to a simple story of heroes and villains. Conclusion. The Crusades remain one of history's most debated subjects. They were shaped by faith, politics, fear, ambition, and survival. They included acts of courage, sacrifice, diplomacy, and also terrible violence. Understanding the Crusades requires looking beyond modern myths and simplistic narratives. History is rarely black and white. It is complex, and only by studying all sides can we begin to understand what truly happened. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. What do you think? Were the Crusades primarily defensive wars, or did they become wars of conquest? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.